Coming up on Oily Trash Movies. Oh my god, and there is a dinosaur! Actually a ripoff of Star Wars. It's called Space Wars. Alright, and we're live. Hello, and welcome to Oily Trash Movies. This is the only podcast that releases its episodes at 1:30 a.m. on a Sunday night over a holiday weekend, because that's the demographic we're going for. We're your hosts. I'm Daddy WarBux.
And I'm Bublegum Barbie.
And this is our first episode in many weeks. I think last episode we did Deep House, which we hated.
Yeah, I didn't like Deep House. Sucked.
You know, having done the edit of that episode, I truly believe that movie lost the audience in the editing process, and I think we specifically pointed it out when the ghosts were swimming towards them, and they're like, we gotta close the door, and then like the next scene, the ghosts are at the door, and we're like, well, why did they wait so long? And then specifically the scene with the red light, and we both said, you know, this really isn't scary at all, but it's because the scenes were edited together so poorly, where if you had done the editing in a way that made the scenes seem tense, or like there was actually a threat, you could have saved the movie. That movie could have been saved in the editing bay.
I think what happened is because everything was dubbed over, and they had to have their two actors go into the audio room and record all their lines as they're watching the whole film. I believe that the edit team had to focus more on getting that done well, and that's a lot of hard work. You have to do take after take after take. So not only filming and then going into the audio room and having to do that's hours and days and weeks of work, and I believe that's what happened with the editing portion, is the fact that it had to be dubbed. All the lines had to be dubbed over.
A lot of post work.
Yes, a lot of post work. I did love the set building and their set, although there was some obvious scientific errors, like having the piano floating and the actors touching it. It's not really moving at all. Those are things that really harmed us a bit, but it wasn't too much. And then there was some things that were floating and other things weren't. And seeing the episode and you mentioning like when the actress is having a panic attack and she's trapped in the chimney on top, she cuts the rope and gravity works underwater that second. That was very annoying as well. I was somewhat annoyed that the director who wanted to do, I would assume if you want to do an underwater film, do the research to see how water works, and it works similar to space. So you have to like have that mindset, because a lot of the astronauts, I believe, take
they do their training underwater.
Underwater.
You know, when she falls because gravity's still working, she actually was wearing a weight belt while underwater, which is something that divers do, and she takes it off at the end when she swims for the surface.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, I'm not underwater
That was
expert.
another thing that did not pan out, because at the beginning she's practicing holding her breath, and you think she's gonna hold her breath for a real long time at the end and save the day, but she just dies, so
which was very annoying. It was so annoying that you even said it. You're like, oh, I hate movies where everyone dies. It was very frustrating. The whole character of Peter was frustrating.
How you fix Deep House is introduce some ichthyoids.
Yes.
And then you just let them take the, just steal the show.
Exactly. It's like, let me tell you about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That would have been interesting. Make it a comedy horror film. That would have been fun. I think
Manfish show up.
The issue, and it still grinds my gears, and I did mention it on the episode, is that this movie was made solely because they had a new gadget. They got a hold of an underwater drone, and I think that movie was focused on that is possibly getting investors invested into this, or movie makers like, hey, look at this new machine we have. Like, it was just I feel that it was just an advertising for that machine, that Tom guy.
The movie was a train wreck. We hated almost every aspect of it. Hopefully they never make a sequel.
Yes, please. I was so disappointed. And what really annoyed me is that they're all things that I'm truly afraid of. I don't like being in water. I'm a person who doesn't like swimming unless it's like dying from heat. The only times you'll see me in water. And claustrophobia. And,
Yeah.
And the fact that I wasn't afraid and it looks stupid. And the way you fix that movie is by incorporating the backstory as why we should fear it, and telling your audience, this is why you should fear it. And that's all I want to say.
No, you fixed the movie by turning it off and watching any of the half dozen better movies that were horror, underwater, cave spelunking films, because it's been done. It's like, you could have stolen all of the greatest scenes from all of those movies, but...
Exactly.
What are you gonna do? Alright, this week we're watching Space Wars, The Quest for the Deepstar, our first science fiction film in a while. What do we know about this?
I am so excited about this movie. You and I both are big nerds when it comes to sci-fi. I'm so excited. It is an indie film. It is 90 minutes, which is the perfect length film. And the director is Garo Setian. And the writer is Joe Netter. And it is about life is an adventure for space scavengers Kip Corman and his daughter Taylor as they navigate their ship through the universe filled with monsters, aliens, and robots in order to reach the mythical Deepstar and collect the riches within.
Monsters, aliens, and robots, oh my.
Oh my. I hope the aliens look like dinosaurs, because if they do, I will lose my bunkers.
I hope the aliens look like ichthyoids. So this sounds like a very basic plot, something along the lines of The Road to El Dorado, where, people are traveling, probably down on our luck, trying to make ends meet, sort of ragtag crew, searching out a mythical treasure.
Oh my god, guess what I just found out?
What?
This film has 18 wins.
Oh no, it's gonna be terrible.
Best actor in sci-fi is one of the ones that was won the Gold Award for feature film, won Best Supporting Actress, Best Stunts, Best Practical Effects.
Oh my goodness, practical effects. That actually might be a cool movie then.
Best Original Score, Best Narrative Feature, won Outstanding Acting Performance. So many acting performances. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Best Feature Film.
Alright, are we ready to watch
director,
this?
Outstanding producer, outstanding special props. I'm excited.
Outstanding in their field.
So this is a good indie film that seems very promising. I'm ready. Are you ready?
Alright, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Oh my gosh, this feels like a David Milkos production, but it wasn't.
Feels spooky.
It can bring a person back to life in the form of a cyborg human.
Oh my gosh.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful.
Already a really great voice
rest.
actress.
They do what they can to
Yeah, we're
survive.
introducing some serious Catholic lore into this world. Death and rebirth. Oh Christ. The walls are just foam boards.
Hell yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh my god, and there is a dinosaur! A lava dinosaur.
In the mouth of
What kind of trial is this, where you've got women in bikinis?
The Judge Act.
This guy's got like a Power Rangers costume on.
Hell yeah.
Pretty cool thing I got.
He's the Han Solo character.
Oh no! They blew up
Oh
the Power
no,
Ranger.
The babes are dead.
Space Wars.
Quest for something deeper.
I do like this set where they just glue a bunch of sci-fi shit to the walls.
Awesome.
There's like Tupperware glued to the wall, spray painted silver, like right out of Robotica.
My condolences. How did she die?
I killed her.
Okay.
What the hell's going on? Where are they lifting off from? Why is that illegal? I don't believe in any chemistry between these two.
Remember back in the day?
I'm okay with their chemistry. I see what you're saying, because we haven't really seen too much of a...
I am not going to risk having to waste credits to bring you back again.
I won't let you down, Mother.
Oh gosh, this is even a worse chemistry.
A symbol of
Dude,
small
she's got the
change
Nazi
and
uniform
a
on.
artifact.
Yeah.
What about?
This actor did not get... He was not part of the award of Best
If I
Actor.
can't.
He
What
was
needs to
not.
be done.
And there she
Oh my god, it's Chewbacca.
escape us.
These like the bad guys. Oh my god, he's a scorpion man.
These are space pirates, I think.
Ah. So he's supposed to be Han Solo?
Prepare to board the station.
I don't know, they're all Han Solo. No, I think Kip is our Han Solo character. These people are too unscrupulous. You know, I do like the ambition that we have here. Are they gonna reach the Deepstar and then it gives him back his wife because that's what he truly
Get some
wants?
rest.
Okay.
Oh my god, are we gonna get thumbnail material here?
She gets in the shower. Space shower.
That's like a case that drill bits come in.
Night, Mom.
Oh yeah.
They just peeled the DeWalt sticker off of it. I don't like how dark everything
Need you to
is.
stay with the ship.
Oh, let Mink stay.
It's not like
I need someone I can trust.
spare parts dark. It's
Minx is too
it works a
down
little.
to even think
It's just, it's like
about
washed
defending
out
you.
dark. You know what this movie needs is the Robotica Destructiva soundtrack.
Yeah.
It just feels like everything's going at half speed.
Star, this is Captain Kip Corbin. Are you?
But if you had like 330 beats per minute techno playing in the background, it would feel so much more frantic and intense.
Yeah. I mean, we should hire this team for
Space Bubble.
yeah.
Yeah, they're competent.
Hey, what happened? Oh, this is in a past.
Yeah, wait, what did
Where
happen?
am I?
So this is the reason. So we have the motivation as to why they space pirate then.
They're
Save Mom.
scavengers, not pirates. Bubble.
That's what
Have
they
some res-
are.
Have some respect.
Oh, okay. We seen Firefly.
No.
Oh God, it's such a good show.
Are we docked?
Space station.
I saw the movie Serenity.
Do they need help?
Oh,
I offered. No reply.
Man, all those Tupperwares on the wall.
Zero gravity stabilization unit.
yeah, this is great. See why they got the award for good stunts.
Way to show up and just start murdering the indigenous population.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ah! See their face, and they're like, "Nope, let's just shoot it." They're ugly.
Ah, it was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I can see why they got practical effects awards. Damn, that woman has. I can see why they only gave her half a pair of pants to wear.
Still on the station.
I do like the chick, and I like the guy, the black hair. I'm unsure how I feel about the guy with the tattoo. I think it's because I hate his tattoo, and it doesn't really fit his aesthetic.
Well, his costume is just like a t-shirt and jeans, too. He doesn't even look sci-fi.
He doesn't look sci-fi. He doesn't feel sci-fi. He doesn't feel like a really bad guy. You know, like kind of like a badass guy. If they would have hired someone with Sam Griffin's group members, like his team, I think he would have been more believable.
This woman's so bug-eyed. I like how she sent those pirates on a wild goose chase and got 3 aliens killed.
Put the gun away.
16 million credits is enough to get their hyperdrive
All right,
fixed.
tell me again.
Man, do you think there's gonna be a sexy
can in no
kickboxing
way, shape, or
scene
form
where evil
Between
woman
the
and
two?
blonde-haired woman fight?
But bring it back
I
to
mean,
me
if he
alive.
got the best director award, possibly. There is a 95% chance that that's gonna happen.
Alive.
If I were a captain, I'd be like, yeah, I'm Captain Bubble.
Wait, you told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Space bubble.
Dykstra.
I'm Captain Space Bubble.
After me.
You mean by off?
I mean, the script
pretty
is
much
really
kill
good
everyone you
at
encounter.
explaining what's happening, how the world
I
works.
realized that once I found the Deepstar, I
Yeah, the world building is sufficient for sure. I have no problems with the script.
Borrowed?
So, do you believe she's like Walt Disney, like in a cryostasis?
No, it's like some magic thing where they resurrect you, you know?
It's some science thing, not magic. It's a sci-fi, not magic guy.
I can't believe you let him go.
Couldn't screw this.
Boom.
Oh my gosh.
Not
An
Megs.
indie film made an explosion happen.
It couldn't have been a power. Already on it.
I believe those are the same chairs they have in Kip's spaceship
Yeah.
too.
We got company.
Oh my goodness.
Space War. This super villain is very.
She reminds me of the villain from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're doing the exact Star Wars thing where they're running through a asteroid field.
I'm not scared. I'll go in there and
Oh
make
god,
you
he's worse.
He's
He's
terrible.
the worst actor. He's so bad.
proud. I will.
She doesn't even love you. You're risking your life for nothing.
Wrong. He's risking his life for her approval. It's actually well done.
Oh my goodness, lasers.
Going towards the screen.
Go.
Time to do the
What?
shake and bake. Shake and bake.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
This blonde girl looks so...
It's small. It might be able to
Familiar.
slip through undetected.
It's a delivery system, Taylor.
Just looks
It's
like
designed
any
to be
like
flown
average
remotely.
blonde
There are
woman.
controls.
Yeah, that must be why.
No, we're not doing this, okay?
And since you don't recognize like faces, like she just your brain just registers it as just every average looking blonde woman.
It's our
I can't go through it again.
She's definitely never been in anything that anybody's ever seen, so... I mean, she's better than most of the cast of Babezilla. I'll give her that.
She's she's in American Ninja Warrior, which is a 2009, and she was a reality TV show. So if you watch that show, there's the likability you've seen her. Very
So she-
athletic.
Yeah.
So she probably did a lot of her stunts here, and those are real stunts, and which is probably why she got hired. And she is a great actress, so
Oh my god, they're on Mars.
take that, Elon Musk.
I shouldn't have let her go.
This is a pretty nice looking spacesuit she's got on. She's got her proton pack. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, this is like
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, just walk out on the rocks for a little bit. That'll look great, trust us.
Is that it?
I guess.
Like, just
is that
out
is that
there?
the Deepstar? Just
Yeah.
laying in the rocks?
It doesn't. Man, it should have been like Starship Troopers where she had to go into a cave
Mm-hmm.
and like fight the lizard guy, and it's two of them, and one gets eaten by that thing.
Oh my goodness, it's like the monster from The Mist. she's hustling.
How is
Oh
it
my
that he
goodness,
hasn't got
the worm.
a worm? I've seen this like horror movie where it has like worms. I forgot what it's called.
Tremors,
Yeah.
a classic starring Kevin Bacon.
That movie was interesting. I think I saw it like 3 years ago.
Oh my goodness, that was like one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Dude, I saw that movie and I was like, this is great. I loved it. It was so scary. Then, like, after I finished watching it, I went outside and I was like, the worms are gonna come out of the dirt.
It was
and
like
eat
an
me.
adult version of The Floor is Lava.
Yeah. Oh man. Han Solo's such a good pilot. Or was it her that drove?
Oh
it
my
was her.
goodness, the tractor beam.
I'll have your woman.
I wish it was more intimidating.
I
If
will
he was
kill you.
like closer to the scene, or if the lighting, there was like a lighting on top of him that made him look very ominous, and or if they did kind of like a set where they have like the bad guy is like a mystery and you don't see him much, but you see like pieces of him.
I'll give you your
He should be a robot.
They really went like full Star Wars ripoff, and they had him in a who
Darth
was
Vader?
Luke's father. Yes, if he was like Darth Vader.
If he's who
A
you
knockoff
say
of
he
it.
is,
Maybe they should have made
Kill
the
him
female
first.
that, and then completely have her in the suit, and you can't really hear her voice.
And then she takes it off, and it turns out she's a hot chick.
If he was
What
like
did you offer
spare
for
parts, part
Because you have
bionic,
something
that
really
would be cool.
important that I want.
No?
Well, the thing is, they're supposed to be cyborgs when they're brought back to life.
Don't touch her.
So there should be. Or at least have like a robot eye.
For me, this is your shit.
Oh my god. Oh, I thought this was in the past. I was like, oh my god, they knew each other in the past. I'm seeing her different now that I know that she's done the American Ninja Warrior, and like, that just
I'm
makes her
waiting for her
badass.
to have to scale the warped wall.
Oh
It's gonna
gosh.
be so good.
She like drinks it all. I'll be like, oh my god.
I'm in love. A ninja alcoholic blonde chick. Oh my goodness. Oh, was she gonna seduce him?
Oh my god, they're pretty much kissed. I'm like a kind of person who doesn't like doing that. I'm like, ew, no, I don't want to drink from the same bottle you do. Do you do that, War?
Yeah, back in middle school, that was like practically first base. Sharing a drink with a girl. That's how you knew it was serious. See, he's gonna defect. He's gonna be the good guy.
Like, I like the wardrobe team, but I wish it was more sci-fi. Like, I feel like they were creative, but they were very reserved in comparison to what Sam Gaffin would have done. Like, he went all the way, right? And it just made it so more immersive. Like, it's that word where I felt like I was more in the world quickly and faster.
Hold on, Bubble. This is where they're getting sexy now.
Yeah, but if I talk, it guarantees it being in our episode.
It also guarantees that I don't listen.
I know, but that's okay because I get to cut it and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm saying something, so therefore it could be in our episode. Oh my gosh, is she
Oh,
gonna
the
steal
gun
for
that
him?
she left.
Ah! So this is the same set that the guys were in earlier, the bad guys. So they did use the same set, but it's brilliant that they changed the color hues of it by adding like a purple hue to it, where the bad guys was blue.
But I could buy it back.
They've got the logo taped over on that monitor.
Realize how
Oh, I didn't see
expensive
that.
this is.
His tattoo is way fatter and chunkier.
I told you I was in the Deepstar.
I was gonna say the same thing about her ass.
And I never doubted you.
That's why you are the only one I will
I
share.
think you could say ass.
What about Wade?
You can say ass.
No way. I don't think so.
If you censor the word ass,
When the
I'm gonna
time comes,
censor the hell out of the word ass.
I want you.
I want that Rage Shadow Legends revenue. Alright? I'm looking to build the Tower of Babel more. That's not gonna be it.
oh no.
I wish I got to take a really nice breath of fresh air before.
You can see like the Phillips screw.
Oh my god!
What?
There's
What?
someone who was in Jeepers Creepers 2001 film. Jared Rivet. He was in this film.
I don't see anyone named Jared in this movie.
I will die.
Oh man, kickboxing scene!
I will.
He's like, hell yeah.
Maybe I'll be your new slave.
Oh my gosh. Girl fight. This is like a good girl fight to Jurassic Games as well.
This is better than the girl fight in Jurassic
Yeah,
Games, because
it
she just
is.
kicked her once and she fell back into the... Oh my god,
Oh my
she's a robot!
gosh.
The pod ejected with 2 people inside. I think Wade double-crossed us.
Just stay focused.
He didn't double cross you, he's trying to choke her out.
Oh my gosh, there is dinosaurs in this movie.
Everything look good?
He seems to, Captain Kip seems like he hasn't been too worried about his daughter missing.
He was suffocating the entire time.
Oh, I guess you're right.
You gotta secure your own oxygen mask before helping the person next to you, Bubble.
On board my ships, though.
Oh my gosh,
the
what if he's
situation was,
French?
dire.
I want him
Last
dead
episode we were
or
talking
alive.
trash about the
Fine,
French.
I'll send you the transport.
What's the whole point of this stupid tattoo? Do you think they're gonna
Wait a minute.
incorporate it?
This guy was born in Paris.
Shut up.
Yeah, you called it.
Oh my gosh, it's Tom from Deep House.
This reminds me of like the Fallout 3 robots. Oh my goodness.
Well, they're way closer than I thought they were.
Oh my god, just
More
walking through the
walking.
desert.
They had to get those drone shots.
Mm-hmm. You could like see the tire tracks, or they had marked out the perimeter.
See, look, spelunking. This right here is already better than Deep House.
What did you stop?
The true treasure was the friends we made along the way.
Where's the treasure? Right here.
Oh no, the hot chick is dead.
The alien just wanted a piece of that.
Can't say ass.
You can say act, Bubble. Oh man.
Oh my god. Is she gonna become the
Ah,
hot chick?
she's still here. Thank goodness.
The pain is fleeting.
I was asleep.
Oh my gosh, she's Cthulhu.
You've disturbed my eternal slumber.
It would have been cool if they added the hot chick some like
Deepstar.
blue
Bounty's
veins
so
on her
big,
face
the entire
to make it
galaxy
feel
is
like she
yours.
is indeed possessed, you know?
It was all enough.
I guess they kind of did that with her voice. I would have liked a actual physical.
Well, hey, they did go down into the cave like in Starship Troopers. Oh my god! He fed her mom's soul to the alien?
Why?
Could literally make a short out of this and just like them punching and never
just goes on
ending
forever.
loop for 2 hours. Yeah.
Pull out the knife that you've had in your back pocket for the past 10 minutes. You need this.
Oh, you need this? Oh, yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, yeah, thanks,
Dang
Bubble,
it.
for just repeating exactly what I said. Oh my god, Superman punch?
A place of love. And that's all I feel for Gret.
It's a world of fake tans.
And wait for
Bleached
you.
hair.
It was like shot.
Room for one more.
They forget that they shot him.
Who was shot? Kip?
Captain
Was he?
Kip! In the shoulder.
Well,
It was just a
at least we
stunning
got the parts
shot.
we needed from there.
All right, this was pretty oily.
I mean, I give it a lot of credit. I want to give it credit where it's done. The cast wasn't so bad. 95% of the cast was pretty good. Sci-fi was competent. It was by someone who thought of it, and obviously it was like one of us, like probably I would see someone like you writing this, you know. It was immersive. The script told what was going on and immersed the world into it and the way things function, what we needed in order to understand the story plot. The set designing was great. The CGI was good. It was as well as the Jeepers Creepers CGI, so that was pretty good.
I'll agree with you, though. I think the script is certainly my favorite part of this.
Oh, I hated the story of the guy, the potential romantic bad guy. They did the same thing that they did with American Cherry. They just made him a bad guy because he's bad. He just likes to kill just for the pleasure of it because he's an angry kid. So therefore he killed his mom and also killed her mom. Okay. That was weird.
See, I thought that was the greatest plot twist in this movie because I had been expecting them to
fall
fall in love the whole
yeah.
time.
Well, I did like the plot of it. I just didn't like the background story of it as to why his motivation kind of was lacking. Is essentially what I'm saying.
See, I feel like that's fine when you have a cast of villains. Like, okay, one of them's just bad because he's a crazy guy. That's fine. That's not, you know, that's not the entire antagonist of the film. He's essentially just one part of the crew. And you had her, who was a slave, and you had Captain Dykestraw, or whatever his name was.
Captain Dykestraw was bad just because he's bad. That's what we got. You know?
Was he?
Yeah, I would assume so. I think so. I also hated the stupid tattoo. Why? Why would you? What was the whole point of having this dumb tattoo on his face, which is obvious? It is difficult to what's that word? To repeat over.
Replicate?
Yes. Why? Like, make it simpler. Like, I know that they're trying to go for like a sci-fi tattoo, something that we haven't seen. And
Well, make it silver. Make it look like it's sci-fi. That just looks like a prison tattoo.
I know. And maybe that's what it's supposed to signify, a prison tattoo. But it's like, it's so it would, if they wanted to have him have a inks, like, he already has tattoos. Completely just remove the fact that he has a tattoo and make it more of a scar, or make it a silver thing, like you said, like a silver scar.
Like circuitry.
Yes.
I always like tattoos that look like circuit wafers.
Right. Or maybe him not having ear or something like that if they were going for the bad guy vibe, you know. I hated her, completely cut her out. There's no need. Or, I don't know, how do you feel about her and her story plot?
You know what? I liked her character. It felt like there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had the space pirates, you had this Nazi woman. I suppose they came together at the end. It does feel, I don't know. I'm still processing this. I thought the cast of characters was pretty well-rounded,
right,
and pretty interesting.
Right.
Jackie was certainly the best.
Right, she was the best. She is also the best actress. I believe she's the one where there's all these actor rewards. It was her. She was so great. He was good as well, but she was just better. A likable character too. The fact that she has a likable character, it made that character lively and fun, and was the relief, the comical relief to it. I mean, she's Chewbacca. Like, it's great. It's great. I like both of their dynamics as well, like Han Solo and her.
I think you could have saved this movie with a lot of great background design, a la Robotica Destructiva.
Mm-hmm.
everything, like even this coin was established at the beginning of the movie when it was the coin that was stolen by the Nazi woman killed her sister and took the coin or something, and then he got it somehow. I wasn't 100% certain, but the script is perfectly structured.
Right.
We needed better performances. We definitely needed better sound design. I think if you had just cheerier music or more high-paced, frantic type music, a lot of these scenes could have worked a lot better. Maybe you could edit these together in a way that is a little bit more exciting, because one of the biggest sins in movie making this movie does constantly, in which it's kind of boring.
Agree. It is kind of boring. And I think it's simply because they really wanted to explain a lot of the world, which they did successfully. I also agree with you about all these characters. They were dynamic and it was interesting. And because the amount of them was just perfect, where it feels like it. I mean, I was able to be immersed into their world. I think I like this movie. It is an indie film, which it is very well respected in my book, simply because they were able to do everything that they were able to do. The set designing and the fact that it is a sci-fi film and it succeeded is really great. And that's hard to do on a budget and a limited budget, which I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the cast was not cheap at all. The wardrobe wasn't cheap at all. I think because of that, I mean, I would disagree with you on the sound and on the music. I agree with you to an extent. It would have been interesting to have more of a Sam Gaffin kind of feel to it, but at the same time, I think it was perfect because they had classical music like Star Wars did. So that I was okay with, but I agree with you that it was somewhat kind of boring. But it
was generic.
Yeah, but it kept my interest. The world building was great. It something that I haven't seen before. The ships were really fun. The creatures were fun and interesting and in their own way. I don't know. Like, for me, I would have liked just a little bit changes to the villains to be a little more intimidating, more villainy, more even look like kind of
the villain should be more villainous.
Yes, the villain should be more villainous, even look more intimidating. Even if they just use like some lighting, which this team was capable of doing, is adding some harsh shadows on their characters would have been great. I would have liked to see more planets. That would have been fun. Maybe go super generic and making a planet explode would have been interesting. Overall, I think this movie was good for me. I think I liked this movie more than Deep House. I like this movie more than Jeepers Creepers. I like this movie more than Cryo. I like this movie more than Alone at Night. I like this movie more than Freeze. I was gonna say Kill Her.
Other movies that I liked it more than.
I was gonna say Kill Her Goats, but because Kill Her Goats has such gore, it makes it so difficult for me to rate it higher than that. But I did like this movie. I did not like that. I was like, there was moments where I was saying things. I was like, oh my god, is this movie going to be better than Jurassic Games? There was moments where I was like, no, there were seriously moments where, because the fight scenes were more like very good. The stunts were great. The tension was a little more perfect, but and their CGI was better as well. So I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I think I liked still Jurassic Games a little more than I liked this movie, but it's up there. It's up there.
Okay.
I am gonna give this Bublegums, but I just don't know how much.
I think I would have rather read the Space Wars novel than seen the Space Wars movie, because at the end of the day, the reason this movie didn't work for me is budgetary reasons. Everything looked horrible. The talent was bottom of the barrel. The CGI was very 90s. If you had a budget like, Star Wars, Disney coming in, or I know Zack Snyder has a new space epic coming out, sure, with a great budget, this probably would have been awesome. But as it stands, I think there's more ideas in the writing than what the filmmakers were able to execute. So
The thing is,
I'm going to give this buckets of oil.
yeah, the thing that makes it very difficult, though, is that these are type of things that you can't make away with a big budget. People don't really believe in this
You're
type.
wrong.
I mean, look
Because Robotica Destructiva did it with zero budget, and it was fucking awesome.
Okay, yeah, Robotica Destructiva was better than this film. I do like that one a lot more than I like this one, and it's in the kind of same spectrum of it. It was way more exciting. There was even times where I was just like physically exhausted because there was so much going on, and it was just so visually beautiful and like oh my gosh. And then the ideas were very so out of it was great. It was great. It was an original screenplay. It was awesome. It had no budget. I think that, yes, I agree with you. The novel of Space Wars would be more interesting in a book form, but that's with everything. Our imagination is way more grand than what we could put.
The strongest CGI in the world
Yes.
is in the brain.
Yes, exactly. So I like this. I think this has a potential of a cult following, but because it was somewhat a little boring, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of people who would take the time to actually watch this. But I think that they would, if you get some people who are willing to, if there's a remake, if they make a mastering of this film, I think it could get there. I think it could get cult following. As it stands right now, there's no way. But if a writer redoes it all over again and tries to take the things what he liked more and then what he's able to do, I think it would be more successful. Gives himself more creative sounding. Like if he bends it a little more, just a tiny more, I think he could get there by, like I mentioned, if there was more of a sci-fi feel to the actors. One of them is bionic, one of them has some silver painting on it, someone has these weird clothing, but I think that's a budget
They need
thing.
the Pit Boy with the computer on their arm that they tap on and it does cool stuff.
Right, they need that that only money could buy you kind of deep house equipment of Tom, even though they succeeded more in creating Tom, but on a garment that one of the characters can use. I think it has the potential of it, but I think they would succeed if there's a remake of it and just starting from scratch and doing it all over. The set was great though, but
Just throw it all in the trash and start again.
but then it's there. It's there, like you said. Make the book, get that cult following into it. I think that would be more successful, and there could be more people willing to fund this, especially when it comes to the sci-fi community. It could get there, and I think the sci-fi community would like this idea and go out, because Star Wars has been ruined by Disney. So when you said that, I was like, oh no, because it has. The thing about big budget movies, the creativity really gets thrown in a box, and they don't let you to be creative because they want, oh well, Twitter is saying this, the majority of Twitter people like this, and this is what they want, so therefore this is what we're making.
Studio executives get nervous when they're writing $100 billion checks, so they want to make sure.
Exactly. So I'm really terrified for a big company to make this, but if a community if the director and the writer get a cult following within writing a book and making this, even if this were to be an animation, an adult animation, I think it would be really fantastic, and I think it could be very successful. It could be the call me if I'm crazy Rick and Morty, if it had like that adult kind of grungy kind of Rick and Morty comedy, that would have been
think
great.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If this were an animated feature, you could have had all of those cool scenes, and you could have had like the awesome spaceships and the background where everything was blinking and the lights are going up and down, and you've got a person with like a half robot face. You could have done that very easily.
Yeah, like I just actually saw One Piece, the live action show, and knowing the animation is by far better because you could exaggerate. I mean, animation, you can exaggerate the bodies, you can exaggerate the features of what an actual person would have been. So this really has that potential of doing that, and I think because of that, because the potential of it having a cult following, I give it Bublegums. I think right now I'm going to be kind of conservative, and I'm just going to give it 2 or 1. I'm not at all comfortable saying 3 because, again, I think they would have to start all over again and make a book. I think they're better off in making a book of it. I would buy it. I would read it. I would be into it. And then get that cult following and make it into either an animation or a very multi-billion budget film.
Yeah, the writers Joe Netter and Garo Setian, who was also the director. I would definitely read a book that they wrote or check out another film with the same writers, because normally everyone who's listening to this show knows that I always complain about story elements or the structure of the plot. This I thought was great. I thought the world building was great. It's just simply the execution. And you know what? It's very difficult to make a low budget science fiction movie.
Very, very
you can make
difficult.
a low budget horror film, but when you've got tons of spaceships and huge action pieces and skyscraper-sized alien monsters and big cities and multiple planets, that's tough to do on a budget. And you got to be a very talented filmmaker like Sam Gaffin to pull it off. These gentlemen, I don't think, had quite the talent, but I'm only going to give this 2 buckets of oil, specifically because I liked the plot and I liked the story so much. And it's a classic space western type story.
Really
I've read a
is.
million books like this. It's a great formula.
It's really funny that you said that because, like, watching this, I was like, have you seen Firefly? Even if this movie was made into a show, even if it's a realistic show, I think it would have succeeded as well. Like how, I was going to say how Firefly succeeded, but I only got 1 season and 1 movie. But that's because of the network. The network didn't believe in it, but the fans did. And there was a cult following. And there is a cult following when it comes to Firefly. So I think that this has that potential. I think the idea is there, and this film could sell that idea, and it could be there for people like me. It's there, and I'm interested, and they have my curiosity, and I hope to see some of their work, for sure. But again, it didn't quite execute because, yes, it was somewhat boring.
All right, do you have anything else to say about this?
I think that's it. I think I repeated a lot of the things. I think I'm done.
All right, well, everybody, we're so happy you made it. This is big, giant, special milestone episode number 29.
29?
Thanks for sticking with us.
Wow.
I know.
How exciting. We are getting better and better as we go. So
and you're getting better, too, as our fans, or you're liking and subscribing more. So
I know.
keep up
Did you
the good
see
work.
we got our first comment? I'm so excited. They said, great edit.
Yeah.
So this is great. I'm excited. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't followed us, We are going to get our spaceship and crash it to your house.
We're gonna attach a tracker beacon to your spaceship and then eat you alive with a giant space cloud.
That's right. So you better subscribe. We're coming for you.
Alright, take care, comb your hair.
Remember to mace directly in that space monster's face. Bye!
Bye!